Everything that's already happened doesn't matter other than the score of the series. And so we got to move forward. There's a lot of things we have to do better. We realize that. I think we've lost, at least by the scoreboard, 6 out of 8 or 7 out of 8 quarters. And so we're playing a great team. And so we've got to make adjustments, and we got to play better.
We saw you limping pretty good after game 2, and just a couple minutes ago, Rick confirmed that you were feeling some discomfort.
Yeah, I'm fine. Really just a lower leg thing. I'll leave it at that. I don't think there's anything more to elaborate. I feel fine, and I'll be ready to go for game 3.
Jamal Collier is covering the Indiana Pacers for us. Jamal, when I saw Tyrese this morning, he looked okay. He didn't look to have a limp, but what more can you tell us?
Well, Malika, he was a full participant at practice this afternoon for the Pacers, and you heard him downplay it there again. He expects to play in game 3, and we saw the last about 30 minutes of Pacers practice. Halliburton was out on the court. He was moving around, looked to be pretty well to my eye. He did have some tape above that ankle, but again, it's the time of year where everybody is sort of dealing with some sort of discomfort and nagging injuries when you play this late into a season. He feels like he's good to go, and his focus to you, Malika, I know, and again earlier today, was his knows he's got to be better in game 3 after those first 2 games in Oklahoma City. You know, the Thunder have put a lot of pressure on him. It's something that the Pacers have seen throughout this run. The Knicks, the Cavs, teams that really sort of face guard Tyrese and try to get him out of the game. Don't let him, sort of get his teammates involved and rack up those assists. And the difference that he said with this Thunder team is just the variety of defenders that they have, the way that they change up their looks and sort of give you random defenses that he has to prepare for. This is the time where he looks to film. He says having 2 games on film to be able to study and figure out advantages against this Thunder team is going to be helpful for him going forward.
Yeah, he told me that this is the best defense that he has faced in his entire career, and he's running into them in the NBA Finals. But I'm glad to hear that he was a full participant in practice today. Jamal, thank you so very much. We're going to keep an eye, though, on that leg. The Pacers are going to be looking to pull another upset in Game 3. The Thunder installed as 5.5-point favorites. Really? Even though the Indiana Pacers are at home. All right. That's according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. And if that stands, it would be tied for the second largest road spread in a finals game since '91, the largest since the Warriors at Cleveland in 2017. So Tyrese Halliburton is turning to the film. I'm turning to Tim Legler. What do the Pacers need to do in this Game 3 to take a 2-1 series lead?
I think it just starts in the first 6 minutes of the game with the pace and tempo and playing with that swagger and confidence and getting the game to their liking offensively. And it really is considerable how far they've been below what we've seen them at their best, not only in the regular season, but even throughout the postseason. I do think one of their 2 stars, if not both, but one of those guys is going to have to, quote, go off in Game 3. And I think Siakam probably more likely, because I do think he's got more favorable matchups that he can win. He's got a lot of smaller defenders on him, so I think he has to have a big game. He had 3 30-point games in the Knicks series. They won all 3 of those games, not coincidentally. So I look for Siakam to come out, set the tone. Halliburton obviously playing faster. This crowd, get them energized.
Why so serious? I feel like we should celebrate Indiana, right? We've got a couple of fans out here.
This isn't just basketball like it is in 49 states. This is Indiana.
This is the home. This is the home. And when you think about it, you guys, they did their job. They stole one on the road. Now they're coming back home. And if you want to win Game 3, it's time for my checklist. I'll tell you the 3 things you absolutely need to do. First and foremost, let's play the name game. You're called the Pacers for a reason. You have to start fast. You have to start electric. And it starts, honestly, with your point guard, Tyrese Halliburton, who has the ball. Look at these numbers right here, 19.2 seconds.
Wow.
That's their longest ever average possession length. Typically, it's 4 seconds below. No, you have to get downhill. You have to get in transition. So, 1, remember you're called the Pacers for a reason. Number 2, it's my favorite position. You got to win the battle of the bigs, because, my goodness, my favorite play from Game 2 was this right here, and it was on the Thunder side. The big-to-big alley-oop. It had everyone in the arena out of their seats. They played the double big lineup. I think Hartenstein was plus 17 and plus minus. Chet had 15 points. And then your bigs, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, have to be more aggressive. Now, I know it's a tall task because they were fouling this man. I want you guys to see this possession. Ref, I'm paging a ref. This might have been a foul, but shout out to the MVP for playing on both sides. Pascal, you have the baseline. Maybe get baseline a little bit more. And here, that physicality really changes things. It changed the outlook. You need to get those guys going, Tyrese, Pascal especially. But last but not least, You see me right here? 20/20 vision. And I'm not talking about the fact that I got LASIK
I was
a
going
few
to say,
months
didn't
ago.
you get some help with that, sis?
No, it's like when you see the stats, I better see 20-point scorers in the stat sheet for the Pacers, because if you look right here, it's wild. This is the 8th team without a 20-point score out of 158 teams that have played through games 1 and games 2 in the finals. Someone's got to get buckets, whether it's Tyrese, Naismith, Nembhard, Halliburton, Siakam, you name it, Mathurin. Someone show up and get in that category, because that's what it will take to beat the #1 defense in the NBA. Again, set the pace. You call the Pacers for a reason. Battle of the bigs in 20/20 vision. I see you guys.
She made the list. Now the Pacers need to check this twice. These are the keys, guys. And let's stick in Indiana, because Caitlin Clark is ramping up for her return to the court. We have the latest on when she will be back in the Fever's starting lineup. We're going to check in with Alexa Philippou. That's coming up next, right here on NBA Today.
I could have sworn it was open.
Rookie move. I was